Hello friends, drank more Diet Pepsi in the last year than most people have drank water in the last 3 years here, bringing you another Dota 2 video on my top 3 tips to gain MMR in Dota's current meta, featuring Topson from his GamerzClass mid lane guide. Number 1. Main 4 to 5 heroes, max. One of the first things that I've learned to do when coaching students is to look at somebody's versatility in their profile, and if that number is higher than 3, that is a big red flag. Why is this? 2 big reasons. 1. You need to be a master at a hero if you want to win a ton of MMR with it, because being a master will mean that all of the basics will be muscle memory and instinct for you. So you can think of all the macro level decisions in the game rather than being distracted by the micro level decisions. In his drafting as a mid laner video, Topson, a 2-time TI winner, confirms this exact notion.
Always be realistic, you're not gonna master them all, so choose 5 heroes that you're gonna get good with, and then you will start to realize, learn all the matchups, and that way you get an advantage on the enemy because you have already mastered this matchup, and that's basically how you really get ahead in drafting. If you are confident in your hero and you're confident you can beat this other mid hero, even though they might think it's a favorable matchup, but when you have played it enough, you can find your ways.
The second reason that you should main 4 to 5 heroes is that it's just not necessary to know any more than that. Learning all 100 plus heroes is just a battle that you don't have to fight in order to win the war. Dota is an incredibly complex game, which makes it hard to master many heroes. But that very same complexity also makes it unnecessary. This is because there are so many items, builds, and playstyles for most heroes that there's almost always some way to play and make a hero work in any situation. So, with all of that being said, how does this apply to me and you in our pubs? Well, it's simple. If it's a perfect Void Spirit game and you're a way better Ember Spirit, in Dota it's way better to just play Ember. Number 2. Play with realistic expectations. What I mean by this is simply that, for example, if your hero can't kill somebody at level 4, then don't try to kill people at level 4. One thing that I've learned over the years of playing this game is that consistent Dota is good Dota. Winning MMR is all about game after game consistently being at a level that will carry you in those 2 to 3 games of the week that could go either way, such that you gain plus 100 or 200 MMR every week. So, naturally, this goes hand in hand with spamming 4 to 5 heroes. If you spam a hero, you'll naturally know their limits at each level and each item. But there's actually a simpler way to know how to play at each level and item. Just watch a single pro replay on your favorite hero. If Arteezy isn't trying to kill people as a level 3 Nature's Prophet, then you probably shouldn't try to kill people as a level 3 Nature's Prophet. And this is especially true if the pro player that you're watching popped off during that game. If they didn't attempt to make plays at a certain level and still carried the game anyway, then chances are it's just an unnecessary risk. Topson confirms this exact notion in his How to Improve Your Laning Stage video in his guide.
Mainly this hero is about getting level 3, and then you start dominating the lane once you get your levels. I mean, he got a lot of denies. It's kind of sad for me, but in the end it doesn't matter too much because I still have I'm gonna have fast level 3, and that's what matters. With levels, this hero starts dominating Ember. We're just looking to get through the early levels. So now you can start seeing that the lane is turning into my favor. Even though the first lanes were rough, I didn't get that much out of it. You can see the lane is turning. I'm leading him last hits just for 1, but still he has denies on me, but that's normal. I'm Invoker against Ember. First lanes are rough. But now, as you can see, this wave, I didn't pull it to tower. I want to keep it here if I can. Now the lane is going to be on my favor. And now you can see he cannot enter the lane that well anymore. He's very, very sad right now, and now he's trying some desperate play with the Flame Guard, try to get something out of the lane, and it backfires very heavily on him.
Number 3. Do your job, but also carry the game. A common trope in Dota is that people say that their teammates suck, so they have to carry the game. Then the very same people turn around and pick Wraith King offlane. And that's the thing. I agree with this notion, actually. Your teammates do suck. I just think that most people implement only half of the correct solution to this problem, which makes it terribly dangerous for losing MMR. If you want to climb MMR, you do in fact need to pick heroes that can carry bad and useless teammates. You can't just pick Lich or Bane because pros are picking it. Pro players have teammates that will play with them. You and I do not. And so you need to pick to carry the game. Despite this fact, picking Wraith King offlane is still a horrible idea because the hero is very bad at doing the traditional jobs of an offlaner, even though he can carry the game. If you pick a hero in a role that is supposed to do a certain job and you can't, the entire game falls apart. And it doesn't matter how much you've farmed or how strong of a carry you are, because your other heroes will be so weak that they're going to throw the game for you. Moreover, there's the odd game where one of your teammates is snowballing and a Wraith King offlane rushing Radiance can do jack shit to protect their giga farmed carry and take an easy win. What I propose is picking heroes that both do the job of the role that you're playing, but can also carry the game. For me, Leshrac offlane has been working wonders for my MMR, because even if I go normal offlane items like Eternal Shroud, Greaves, and that sort of thing, I can still do damage, take towers on my own, and 1v5 if the game calls for it and my teammates are shit. Wraith King offlane, on the other hand, is entirely reliant on his team to carry the game if he builds typical offlane items like a pipe, for example. And if he rushes a Radiance, then sure, you can carry the game on Wraith King, but then you don't have an offlaner, you don't have somebody to run in first, you don't have somebody to build a pipe versus the enemy Zeus or Venomancer. You are basically ruining the game to carry the game when you already have a carry. There are so many viable heroes that can both carry the game and do the job of your role that you really don't need to commit to one or the other. Some examples in the other roles include Shadow Shaman 5, who can build Glimmers but also carry items like Ags, Ember Spirit mid, who can build Yules and be utility, or Maelstrom, Daedalus and carry the game, Enigma 4, who can build Greaves and Aura items, but also Octarine Blink and carry the game. Even at Topson's level, a pub is a pub, and he explains this in his video about itemization theory.
Sometimes you're playing against a lineup that has dual core, maybe like they have like Spectre, TA, something like that, and they have like greedy supports also. Like sometimes people have like Enigma, heroes like that, but you feel like your lineup is not fast enough, so they could go like super fast that you could like actually take advantage of their greedy heroes well enough. So the other approach is trying to out-farm them, like out-greed them.
Even in 9 to 10k MMR pubs, Topson still talks about playing greedy if you can, with Midases and Radiances, even from the middle lane, because he realizes that the enemy team, if they for whatever reason give you space, whether it be due to draft or misplays, you take the space. And basically, in every MMR other than High Immortal, games go late and there's tons of space on the map. Speaking of MMR, if you want to gain a ton of it, I seriously cannot recommend GamerzClass enough. In fact, it goes way beyond MMR. The caliber of pro that they have on their website is so high that you could literally study these guides and become a tier 1 pro because, you know, they have people like Topson, literal 2-time TI winners. I really appreciate GamerzClass sponsoring my content and allowing me to keep fighting the good fight against the hobo Flanagans, and I also appreciate you watching the video to the very end, so thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you in another video.